Welcome back to Reddit and Things. Our stories today are from r/EntitledParents. The first story is from u/DarkSoul89. My boyfriend just told me this story and I thought it belonged here. When he was 14, he was living with his mom and sister on a housing estate. It was summer and he liked a bit of light in his upstairs bedroom, so he left the curtains open at all times. That included when he was getting dressed and after having a shower. So, if you purposely stared at his window, you could only see him from his waist up. Well, their neighbor did not like that one bit. She was pounding on their front door, yelling at my mother-in-law that her son was a disgrace, hanging around always naked and exposing himself to her daughter, who was the same age as him. My mother-in-law told her he had every right to do whatever he wanted in his bedroom, and if that they didn't want to see him, all they needed to do was to not look. A couple of days went by, and lo and behold, the police showed up at their door. Turned out the neighbor had been filming and taking pictures of my boyfriend to show the housing people as evidence of his wrongdoing to get them kicked out, except that the housing officer called the police on her for taking pictures and videos of an underage kid and kicked her and her family out. Next up is a story from u/MadRen15. My entitled sister wants me to house my niece for free during uni. My niece had to move back in with her mother after the lockdown started. She lost her job and all her classes were online. Her lease was month to month, so she didn't have to worry about breaking her lease. Recently, the schools have reopened and she started attending classes again. Problem is, her apartment, which is walking distance from her university, is now rented. Parking in the area sucks and it is 1 hour away from her mother's house on public transit. I will say now that my niece is incredibly spoiled and is taking classes for a degree with no practical benefits. By this I mean that it will in no way help her with a career path, nor are there necessary courses for further education. Got a call from my sister asking if my niece could live with me because I live alone in a 2-bedroom house and I'm a 15-minute bus trip from her uni. I said no for several reasons. Number 1, I work nights and need to sleep during the day. My niece is a very loud young woman and doesn't understand the concept of an indoor voice. Last time she stayed in the same house as me, I was sleep deprived because of her practically yelling on her phone, and it affected how I did my job, resulting in a write-up. Number 2, my niece is also a very messy person. I helped with the move out and the memory makes me shudder. Some of the unwashed dishes in the sink were tossed because they were way beyond cleaning. She tried to sit on random crap and text her friends and scroll on TikTok. I had to take her phone and lock it in the glove box for the U-Haul we rented to get her ass moving to help. My sister still calls me a bitch for doing this. Number 3, while I may have a 2-bedroom home, the second room is my office/workroom. I've been in the process of making wire-wrapped necklaces to sell online for extra income, and I need the area as a workspace. It is also my library, for lack of a better word. I keep my collection of novels on bookshelves in there, and a comfy old recliner for reading in. Number 4, my niece is allergic to cats, and I have 3. My sister seems to think I can keep them all in my bedroom or locked up in the basement for the school year. Fuck that right there. Number 5, and this is the big one. My older sister is under the belief that my niece wouldn't have to help out with the household expenses or be expected to cook for herself. She also thinks that my niece shouldn't have to get a job while in school to focus on her studies. Tried to pull the "we're family, should help each other out" card, but that didn't count for shit when my step-siblings nearly made me homeless after my stepdad died and gave me 30 days to find a new place for me and my dog. Dog-friendly buildings where I live are hard to find. The only way I would agree for my niece to live with me is that she would give me $250 a month to help cover utilities and part of the internet. Figure that is a steal considering a cheap place around her school is more than double, even triple that, plus utilities, and she could use the garage for her car for free. But I would also expect her to buy her own food and clean up after herself, like doing her own laundry, keeping her room clean, and putting her dishes at least in the sink, if not the dishwasher. Would not expect her to cut the grass or shovel snow. The thought of even asking her to do this already gives me a headache. Now I'm getting texts from both my sisters telling me that I'm a horrible person and should open my home to this. That it's unreasonable to expect a 19-year-old to spend 2 hours on the bus every day and yada yada. Part of me feels guilty because I could move my office and workspace down into the basement. Can't be a living space due to lack of windows. But I can't afford the expense of a second person in my home without them chipping in for the bills, nor will I lock my cats away in their home. Our final story is from u/Les-Wolf-Vet. We have a cast for the story. Entitled Aunt, also known as EA, my mother, Katie's mother, my wife, Katie, my sister, Amy. I am a 32-year-old female, and my fiance is Katie, also a 31-year-old female. We aren't religious, so we had our own wedding at my parents' home in their garden. There were around 50 guests. I was in uniform. We are both Army vets, and Katie had a beautiful dress. Everything was perfect until my stupid aunt objected to the wedding. She wasn't invited, but found the invite we sent to her daughters because they are actually good people and decided she would come along. Now, about my aunt. She is racist, homophobic, sexist, and probably a lot more I'm forgetting. And she hates me. She has since I was a kid. She calls me a devil child, claims the Army gave me the, quote, gay, and that I'm a sinner who will go to hell. I've been an atheist since I was 11, and she hates me for that too. So, the stupid woman decides to turn up at my wedding. In white. Not just that, it was clearly a wedding dress. Then she objects to it and said there is no such thing as gay marriage. My mother and Katie's mother yelled at her until she left. But afterwards, at the reception, when I was talking to my sister and our cousin, we saw her again, sulking at the side of the garden. Our cousin was apologizing so much I felt sorry for her. Entitled Aunt storms over. She was mad at something. Again. EA. You fucking whore! You don't deserve to be alive! She actually said that. I respond, get the hell out! You weren't invited! She responds, you invited my daughters, so you invited me. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Katie walked over and hugged me to calm me down. She was holding my arm when my aunt went off on poor Katie. EA says, you're a fucking whore too! I saw you with the best man! Katie did hug the best man. The best man was her younger brother. I was ready to punch her, but I didn't. I let my mother handle it. She's a spitfire when she wants to be. Before she left, though, my sister Amy accidentally spilled red wine all down her white dress. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. We're still married, and our cousin sent us a photo of my 60-something-year-old aunt bawling her eyes out with a wine-stained dress. Thanks for listening to Reddit and Things. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment.